Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, going to be a match between Action and Ample. Today on Neo Sylphid, topside, it's our purple Terran player. It is Ample. We've got Action down in the bottom right. He is white and he is Zerg. This is going to be a Patreon cast for the week of Christmas, the holiday season 2021. If you're watching this that week, thank you very much for supporting me at patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for at least $1 a month. I really do appreciate the support and hope the holidays are finding you well. You can comment on this video and I'll see it, or you want to comment on the Patreon post and I'll see it as well. If you want to communicate with me, those are two of the ways that you can do so. If you want to join the Discord, that's another way you can do so. I'm pretty available for whatever you want, okay? And if you're watching this in January on the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'm here 5 times a week with Brood War content. All right, man. So this is another RJB replay, part of a huge replay pack that RJB sent me I think last year at this point, several months ago, which is like a year ago, maybe two years ago? Anyway, what are we looking at for that? Check out RJB TV on the YouTube, all right? All right, I think that sounds like a fine plan. A fine plan indeed. We hatch first on this 3-player map? I think we are. We're hatch first arena ring here at 12 supply. And, well played, well timed there from Senor Action. Action! Overlord scouting the wrong direction. This one is scouting the right direction, though. Terry, it's cool. Terry's just enjoying the beautiful greenery of Neo Sylphid. A lot of trees, a lot of grass. This is kind of like a moss probably on the ground. Do you think, like, Zerg and Terran units slip on this moss because it's kind of slippery? You ever try to run on moss before? It doesn't work very well. We're probably going to faceplant anyway. How's it going, Terry? You enjoying the green stuff? Yes, Terry, I know you don't smoke marijuana. That wasn't what I was talking about, dude. Just talking about the actual literal greenery around you. I'm not talking in euphemisms here on the YouTube channel, man. Yes, I agree. The best being gas is also green, fitting with the theme here. Very observant, Terry. Well done. You should be able to survive this game because you're going the wrong direction. Your friend, on the other hand, is scouting up towards the Terran army where there are Marines out, and these guys are looking for this Overlord, I think. A nice little detour there, man. Taking a hard right there. Not expanding either. What is that? Okay, just a little bit of Marine pressure coming in. Oh, gonna throw down a bunker on the hatch first play. Oh, snap. There are 2 sets of lings coming in. There's a macro hatch here, too. That's not going to help defend against this at all. But, okay, drones are trying to make sure the bunker doesn't happen. The drones are also trying to avoid not getting shot in the face right now. And they do. They get completely shot in the face, but they kill the SCV. That's big. That is massive that they got the SCV kill, because the bunker's not going to come up now. And are you going to bring another SCV down or no? No. Dude, sick plays from Action. I mean, just disgustingly good micro to get that SCV killed, because that shut this whole thing down. If the SCV builds this bunker, this is much harder for Action to hold. He might have actually lost that hatchery, all things considered. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there. Ooh. Okay, what are we doing next? Lings run around at the speed of sound. They don't have speed yet. They're not the speed of sound. They're running around at not the speed of sound. Why are they going this way? This Overlord has seen there's nothing here. He knows there's no Terran over this direction. Lings are taking the roundabout path. Maybe they don't want to run in, well, I guess to that Vulture. Quite possibly. There's a Sunken to deal with said Vulture. Are we actually opening mech here? Wow, 1-1-1 opening. Aggressive play from Ample. I don't see this necessarily working out for him, because he didn't take down the... I don't know. He killed 2 drones. He didn't do enough damage to the economy of Action to actually make this 1-1-1 work for him. That's another dead Marine. Oh, absolutely dead. Absolutely dead. The Lings are getting a little bit distracted, but they're... Oh, the body block, but not enough. Okay. So the Marine dies, but a couple Vultures are here too, so all the Lings are now going to get obliterated. But they get the scout off, right? They see it's a factory. They see it's a starport working, which means it's got to be a Wraith. There's no control tower attached here, so he has to deal with Wraith harassment, which means getting an evolution chamber down would be nice. Ooh, Ultralisk den also works. Hydra Den is there, baby. Alrighty then. So on the other side of things, I'd really like to see an expansion. I think that's what this SCB is for. Yeah, about 360 minerals up to that 400. And is it Ka-Chow time? It's Ka-Chow time. There it is. Vultures cruising on down. Again, there's a sunken, there's a nice Ultralisk den preventing easier run by here into the main base. Has to go around through here or around here, which is not good. Plus, there's a Hydra blocking that access too. But the Hydra also needs to worry about the Wraith that they know, or that it knows is coming, and there is in fact a Wraith coming. So Spider Mine's getting laid down. The expansion is late, which means you have to deal with Spider Mines and Vultures and Wraiths real fast, which is a very good scout for action. He's ready for all of that stuff, it seems like. And yeah, I mean, just Wraiths, one hit is like 15% of the health on that Wraith, man. It is not good. Not good to take damage from anything. Paper airplanes are said Wraiths. Engineering Bay coming in. Oh, Vultures do get in and cause a little bit of harassment. They are YOLO Vultures. YOLO! And they are dead. So they killed a couple drones, but I mean, that is totally fine. I really think Action is cool with that. He's like, okay, if you can trade... Ling killed by Spider-Man. He's dragon here. He knows. But I really think as the dropship is on the way, that a Zerg player would trade about 2 or 3 drones in order to not have to worry about Vultures for a bit. Anywho, they're gonna pop now. Love that stuff. Maybe for lurker aspect, that'd be pretty good here. But the question is, what is the long-term plan? Science facility? What? Okay, all right. This is exceptionally strange. So Overlord comes in. It doesn't really get much information. See if there's a second base. Sees we're taking that gas, which is kind of good to know. But until there's a second factory or a second barracks up, I just don't know what to expect. Is this a weird hybrid play? We have seen that from time to time, like a weird kind of marine medic, vulture tank style thing where it's kind of mech and also kind of biological play here. Queen's Nest coming in and a Spire. Action just like, I just want to be like have access to everything that I need as a Zerg player, thanks. Getting a third base too, which is the Vulture, is being annoying about, that's for sure. Really not much to do anything about that. There's not much of an army that doesn't need to stay home and deal with the Wraith. So this third base, I mean, they're not going to kill the hatchery, but they are wounding it and bruising it. And these Marines are definitely capable of killing it much faster than the Vultures are. Make Ample, you're confusing me. What are you doing, man? He's making a science vessel. Sure, that makes sense. He's got a science facility. Why not? Okay, there's your barracks. There's your barracks. All right. So it is going to be marine medic heavy stuff here. And he's, man, Action is just not trying to save this at all. He's not responding whatsoever to this problem. He is just sitting back home. He's allowing the third base to go down. This is an interesting choice from him. I guess he's got Scourge and a Mutalisk to deal with the Wraith now. And maybe the Hydras can make it over here in time, but no, he cancels. He cancels the third base. And Ample's in a great spot all of a sudden. I think Ample was in trouble, but that third base getting absolutely canceled. That was a huge problem. Ooh, that dropship getting sniped by those Scourge would have been hot. What is this one Mutalisk Scourge play? Like, honestly, what are we planning to do with one Mutalisk and 2 Scourge, man? This is a weird choice for me. He wants to snipe the Wraith is what he wants to do, but I don't know. Wraiths are pretty fast, and that missile turret really means he can pull back to the turrets and be fine, which is exactly what happened. Academy on the way. We're going to work on things like range upgrade for Marines, like getting stim for those boys. Going to make some medics too, but a Defiler Mound is already on the way in the Academy. If your Academy's not done and a Defiler Mound is on the way, you're in a bit of trouble, Terran guy. That said, a third base for Action would really make all of his plans come true. Oh, drone gets sniped, and the Vulture gets the heck on out of there. Metabolic boost coming in. Lurker aspect is getting researched. And the third base has got to be the priority here from Action, and I'm not sure what he's up to. I mean, there's no sign of a third base from Ample, so it's not like it's going to be a 3-basing Terran versus a 2-basing Zerg anytime soon. That would be horrific for the Zerg, but going for siege mode, fine. Another barracks, yeah. I mean, that just... These mutas are coming into suicide? All right, that was a fine choice. He's not going for a lot of mutas, but keeping those alive for scouting purposes and for harassing the Wraith would not be terrible. Wraith's got 2 kills, and I'm fairly sure Ba-bam! Spider-Mine's getting killed by the Zergling. Wait, Zergling's getting killed by Spider-Mine. The Spider-Mine died too, though, so I don't know. I mean, is that fair to say the Zergling killed the Spider-Mine because the Zergling is, or the Spider-Mine is also dead? I don't know. Race like, ooh, Defiler Run, ooh, Queen's Nest, ooh, Hive, ooh, that's not good. Oh, also dead. Third base coming up now. About 50% complete, but it's late considering what we're dealing with. And there's a very nice Marine Medic Science Vessel army here. Like, really scary. Adrenal Glands is on the way, though, which is just super useful in situations like these. Even if the Lings don't have crazy good upgrades, which they do not. Yeah, +1 Carapace doesn't quite count as crazy good upgrades at 10 minutes, but Adrenal helps immensely, and it's not that far away from completion here. So let's see what we get from Ample. He's going to irradiate the important stuff. He's going to try to avoid getting scourged in the face, as is tradition. The Lings don't want to engage yet, but they sort of have to. Then you got a Dark Swarm anyway, so it's cool. You're fine. Science Vessel does get taken down by Scourge. Lings running up. Siege tanks in full retreat mode here, pulling back from the Dark Swarm. They don't like what they see there. They're going around it. It's a great zoning tool, as per usual. There's that range upgrade for the Marines, which is really useful when you're trying to kill Scourge that are trying to kill your Science Vessels. It's a rock, paper, scissors thing there. Marines kill the Scourge, kill the Science Vessels. Science Vessels kill things like Defilers really well. And the more Defilers you kill in a ZVT, the better off your odds are of winning the game. So, Adrenal Glands is done. Plague is getting researched. Lurkers are actually getting produced in eggs. That is where lurkers come from, if your parents didn't teach you that when you were younger. This medic just kind of gets left behind and exploded. Man, she didn't deserve that, but I was going to say, jumping on this, quite enough Zerg units to do that. But picking, oh, that's a dead Science Vessel. Maybe two? One goes down, one takes a hit, but it takes two. It takes two, baby. It takes two. There's fire bats in them. They're Dark Swarms, though. And is it enough fire bats? It doesn't seem necessarily like it is. Pulling back, baby. Yeah, irradiates that lurker. Just goes into the corner to die. Doesn't want to harm anybody else, does he? Not at all. Nidus Canal coming in. This is, man, no third base from Ample at the 12.5 minute mark is a little bit weird. This is a very aggressive play from him. It means he doesn't really want this to go into the later game, but I don't think he has much of a choice at this stage. The 3-basing Zerg player, Zerg's already on Defiler tech, so, like, what are you doing? Lurker Egg on the ramp trying to block it. Lurker burrowed in, irradiated, murderized quite nicely. Coming from the right side, though. A handful of Lings, not really enough to clear this out, though, yeah? They got a couple siege tanks. The fire bats are clearing out what's left, though. More units coming down the ramp. Scourge connecting on a Science Vessel. Defensive Matrix keeping two of them alive, though. Do they want to go boxer maneuver here? It seems like they have the energy to do so. No. They definitely do not. Third command center is lifting and going to land here. So third base happening on the attack, which is what Day 9 always used to say when he talked about StarCraft was expand while attacking. And this is exactly what Ample is up to here. But, I mean, it's not a lot of Zerglings, but it kind of feels like it's enough. Yeah, it's not like this has been 60 or, 50 Zerglings roaring in here. This has been like 12, 15, maybe 16. Maybe 20, maybe at the most, and just kind of cleaning this out. It's not a giant Terran army, so that's all that's necessary. And part of playing Zerg is just recognizing exactly how much army you need to win a battle and not die, while at the same time making economy, right? Because if you make a giant army and absolutely crush the attack that Ample sends down, then and you can't counterattack with it and kill him, then your economy sucks, and you're just in a bad place. So actually going to take a fourth base here. Oh, explodes a spider mine. Takes no damage from it because drones and probes and SCVs float. Do not trigger spider mine explosion techniques. Armoring production. Working on Pneumatize Carapace and Defiler Energy. Metasynaptic Node is a fun upgrade to say. I always like to say that one. Now look at this. Ample taking a fourth base at virtually the same time as third base went down. Loving that from him. This is a really good ZVT. Thanks again, RJB. Really fantastic 1v1er here. Going for Ultralisk attack range upgrades. Same time, Carapace upgrades. In the production. Defiler, very lonely, kind of cruising out here, but I guess there's Lings and Hydras to protect him fairly well. I like this 4th base from Ample. He's throwing down spider mines as well as he can to just try to make sure the Zerg player can't just move a giant army up there and kill it, but it's exactly what is going to be attempted here anyway. Adrenal Gland Lings with 2 Carapace. Doesn't mean they can survive a spider mine hit, because that's what, 500 or 125 damage on the spider mine hits, which will one-shot a Ling no matter what. Another base coming in from Action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases for him. We're recognizing this 4th base is running for Ample and just going to try to do something economically to keep up with that. Is that a Plague that just missed? Oh, he did catch a couple Vultures with that. That looked like it missed based on the animation, but sometimes that's a lie. Vulture's going to go after this hatchery, and you know, they've got no upgrades. So maybe they're not going to do incredibly well here, but they'll bruise up the hatch as it's trying to be morphed in and lay down some spider mines that are annoying for the Ultralisks to deal with, I suppose. He just got a barracks lifted there. Is he... That's the thing. The barracks are running, but also additional factories are here, and they're running too. So it is. It's Marine, Siege Tank, Firebat, Vulture, Science Vessel, and a weird combination strategy that we don't see a lot against Zerg players, and it is a little bit tricky to deal with the Zerg as well. He's going to try to plague these suckers. Yep. Plagues them, dies for his sins of calling down that plague. Ooh, another... Oh, boy, another Defiler gets wiped out. But now a couple Hydra snaps. A couple Hydra attacks should be enough to one-shot these guys. And there's actually nothing to do that down here in this base, but there you go. Lings get on top of them. Drones get on the action. It's 67 to 53 workers, though. Ample's up 50 supply right now. He looking good. He looking good, friends. Carrom boosters on the way, and it is additional factories coming in. So I don't want to say that he transitioned from bio to mech. He kind of opened with both and then just kind of kept doing both, and he was heavier on bio for a minute, and now he's heavier on mech, and this is probably where he's going to stay. Mech is a really good late-game composition against Zerg. Very hard for them to deal with. Kind of like Protoss that way. Even with Dark Swarm, Siege Tanks in numbers can kind of just crush everything inside that Dark Swarm, so you want to watch out for that. This is an interesting place for a hatchery. He's really worried about expanding here because these Vultures are in the neighborhood and there's a spider mine to notify them if something tries to happen here. This is a naked expand attempt, top right side from Ample. He risks it, and that does not work out for him. Scourge find... Oh, the jukes are real, but not enough. Oh my gosh, they're enough. Also, there's a Dark Swarm up here that just forced a liftoff on that command center entirely. Boop, also forcing a cancel on this command center top right. So knocking Ample down to 3 bases effectively pretty quickly when he was on 4 and working on a 5th for a minute. This Hydra dancing around like a dancing fool. And what's he do? He's like he wants to... He wants to expand here, but he's also... This is the weirdest thing. What are you doing? You bring some Hydras in to defend against the Vultures that are kind of threatening the general area. Bring some Lings in there too, and now he clears out the spider mine now that he can defend. And then we're just getting Sunkens up here. All right. It was a very, very careful taking of this left side base for Action. Interesting indeed. This has got to be drops. It is. But the army's responding to this fairly effectively. This lurker is still here. Why did you send SCVs that way? Oh, irradiates are up, and there's a... Oh my gosh, Overlords are dying, but unloading a bunch of Lings into the mix. Overlords are irradiated, doing damage to their own friends. A Dark Swarm goes down. Ooh, Armory getting canceled would be a big friggin' deal, and it looks like they're going to take that thing down. Oh man, armor upgrade going to die. Is the attack upgrade going to die here too? Ling's a little bit distracted as to what else is going on here. They're going after missile turrets. They do cancel that upgrade too. So that was the mech army working on 2-2. That gets canceled. It has to get restarted entirely with new armories, which are being built right now. That is a really big snipe if nothing else happened here. He killed a couple siege tanks. He killed a couple missile turrets. He got a supply depot. Sure. He's still down 184 to 130 supply, though, and this army is mad. They almost had their 2-2, and now that's been denied from them, and now that they are upset. Kindness plating coming in. Ultralisks in the future for Action. Dark Swarm is up. Ling's getting some hits off here, trying to defend against the huge mech onslaught, but surrounding is a big way to deal with this. We've seen it. Oh, a Plague too. Plague, ooh, easily helping take down that siege tank. How many of these guys are injured at this point? All of them, but 2, and some of them are further injured by the plagues that are coming in. Action, he's down 60 supply. And yet, he's holding on. He somehow is doing all right. Vulture gets cleared out. This is now officially a source of income that Action can benefit from. Holy Schenectadies, man. Another great Plague on a bunch of those siege tanks. How many of these guys are just in the red now? At least 2. Another one joining them quite soon. Ling's trying to come up this right side, tank down because previously plagued. That's how this works, but the Lings have to get close enough to actually tap them, which is a little bit harder to do. It turns out, but look how many bases there are for Action right now. He's got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. A lot of macro hatches here too for extra production. He's catching up overall. It's 193 to 162 supply. He's down, instead of 60 supply, he's only down by 40 now. Or 30 rather. My maths are off. I guess it's closer to 40 at this point. Anyway, whatever. Being down in supply against a meching Terran is pretty terrifying. You need really good spellcasting to handle that. Siege tanks are setting up to harass this hatchery and maybe take it down. Lings can't get through here. That is just too many siege tanks, and we might have reached the point where Ample just has so many siege tanks. A ground attack is going to be extremely difficult to handle. Oh, a single lurker makes a drop down this way. I'm going to actually maybe finish off a siege tank. Nope, Vulture saving the day there. Irradiate on the Overlords. He's trying to drop on top of these siege tanks like he knows he needs to do. This is basically Zealot bombing, but with Zerglings. We're going to call it Zergling bombing to try to whittle that tank count down from the skies, because approaching it over the ground, no matter what you're doing, no matter what Dark Swarms and what Plagues you're tossing out, can be extraordinarily difficult. Extraordinarily so, but there's 7 Ultralisks on the way from Action. Can he handle this is the larger question of the day. Lurker high ground position with Dark Swarm support is going to be nice. Can slowly whittle down that siege tank, I suppose. Big Vulture run by into this left side 5th base for Action. The Sunkens are not actually in great position to handle this. You can come around this left side and wipe out all of these drones as much as you want to. Siege tank going to deal with the Sunkens. Vultures are coming down that left side if they can. Lings just cruising in. The hatchery does get wiped out by these siege tanks on the low ground. I thought maybe there wasn't enough distance there, but they're definitely it was close enough for the tanks to take care of it with that extra vision from scans and whatnot. Ultra's taking spider mines to the face, getting irradiated to the face, continuing to march through and clear out these siege tanks as well as he can with his 6 armor here. He's getting anabolic synthesis. The Ultralisk with the irradiate and the damage taken from the siege tanks is probably going to die a hero. Oh, I think that Vulture killed him. He had, what, a couple kills there, not too shabby. Vulture's wiping out this left side as anticipated. Ultra's showing up, taking spider mine hits again, which you want to try to avoid if you're an Ultralisk, because big swings, baby. Big swings on those Ultras are always a problem for those guys. Another base being taken by Ample here, and he's continuing to be up by about 50 supply in this match, maybe about 45. I'm trying to do basic addition while I'm casting, and that is not exactly something that you want to try to do if you're me. So Nidus is going to allow for, again, quick reinforcements over in this direction, quick just moving across the map too. You can use this as a staging ground to try to get up to this, or that's not a base, to this base, where there's only 1 siege tank defending, which this poor Ling scouted out. This Ling scouts out. These Lings scout out, but there you go. The third wave made it through. And this is where he's like, the Zerg player is everywhere. This is so annoying. This is a great ZVT, man. I do think that Ample just has an advantage here, but this base going down. Oh, he irradiates the Ultras, and that means they're doing extra splash biological damage to these SCVs, which is not what you want to see. Yeah, a lot of these SCVs are bruised up, and they didn't take any hits from the Ultra. It's just the irradiate that was causing them problems. Absolutely bananas. Also, Zerglings and Hydras coming up the right side to Ample's base here at the 3 o'clock position. SCVs coming back into this 4th. They're injured, but otherwise they can still fulfill their duties to the best of their capabilities here. These SCVs retreating as well. A lot of SCV retreating going on right now. I think that was an Overlord that died. Whatever. Zerglings just eating spider mines with their little bodies, causing some friendly fire spider mine hits too, which is not great. It is spider mines giveth and they taketh away. Siege tanks are kind of the same way. where they do a ton of damage, but their splash damage can hurt their friends too. There's that 2-2 upgrade he's been waiting on for so long. And the 3-3 is coming in, but we remind you, it is later because of killing those armories. It's 3-3 for the Lings. They've got all the upgrades they need with adrenal glands. And 3-3, they are fully upgraded. Very terrifying. Crackling Spider Mine helps take down that siege tank too. Zerglings getting rid of a Goliath, and Spider Mines cleared out with their bodies. I think that is definitely a fair trade there. One Zergling for a Spider Mine is something every Terran is cool with. This base mining. The harassment on the bases has been favoring action for some time here. And yeah, this base is completely dead. This base gets back to work pretty easily for Ample, so that's nice. And as well as this right side 5th base is good. So the 6th base not really happening, but on 5 bases at 25 minutes is really not too shabby. More Ultralisks in production. Oh, it's 146. It's even supply now. Oh boy. A lot of that is drones for action, but that means he can reproduce units faster than Ample is rebuilding his. Another fantastic Dark Swarm. Ling trying to chomp away at a defensive matrix tank. It's dead. Irradiates the Ultralisk. Not doing any bonus damage to siege tanks, but looks cooler when he's got the green stuff on him anyway, I guess. It's just a color accent, I suppose, is how I would describe that one. How did these vultures get in here? I guess there's really nothing blocking this entrance except for just the default egg, which doesn't really block vultures from doing that. Lings getting on in. Can they jump on? They do, and they cause friendly fire attacks. No, unsieges the repair on the siege tank is real and enough to save it. All the SCVs providing an incredible service for their siege tank friend there. They would have died too if those tanks died. So their lives were on the line, and they absolutely knew it. Nope, one Ultralisk on his own, not going to do much against this meching stuff. So we got an attack coming on the left side, and there's an attack coming up the right side. But I'm not sure that Action can afford to lose a base. Can Ample afford to lose a base, though? I don't know, and he's not. These siege tanks are holding on. This attack has not quite showed up yet. The Dark Swarm is pretty scary. We do have some boxer maneuvering over here, but Burrow does protect from the splash damage on those irradiated science specimens, which is all the damage they're doing is splash, because there's no direct damage when you're doing that. Oh man, tanks down, Lings inside the mineral line. There's a single medic in here trying to heal stuff up, if it can, but also down the left side. This is a big-time scary army. Nope. Couple Lings are not going to do that. Lings are trying to kill as many SCVs as they can. The medic is running out of energy quickly, and the vultures come in and save the day. Left side, a lot of drones are dying. It's 116 to 120 supply. Is this an epic-style match? It is feeling like it right now. Lings, Ultras, the tanks are firing on the static defense. They can't fire on these Lings because they're inside their minimum attack range. Tank down, tank down, tank down. Another tank down, but the hatchery falls to the siege tanks. And the vultures get out of there because they can run. They're trying to kite as well as they can. It's 108 to 108 supply. What an absolutely super chaotic game right now. Lings trying to get into this 4th base all day, but the siege tanks say no. Even if they have to harm their friends, they're willing to say no. Ample's right side base is working. This base is mined out. His 3rd is mined out. His 4th base is fine. His 5th base is fine. 6th base just got taken by Action, though, so that's Action's now. And he did lose a hatch on the left side. 128 to 111 supply at the moment. This has been absolutely bonkers. Vulture's just killing as many drones as Terranly possible. Remember when there were like 70 workers for Action? Yeah, it's 52 now. 52 to 49 workers. My gosh, the Vulture work today from Ample has been disgustingly good. Just insane. Retaking this left side 6th base or 5th base or whatever it is for Action. Numbers are hard. Going for a big time drop on this very important source of income. There are 3 missile turrets absolutely trying to massacre these overlords to death. They're unloading, trying to, again, zealot bomb these siege tanks, and wow! Action just GG'd out? That looks like an Action GG, and Ample is your winner, but hold on a second. I know that drop didn't do everything in the world he probably wanted it to do, but My economy is too damaged. Maybe it was too damaged. Hold on, we're going to rewind that one. But hit that like button. I mean, it's a weird GG, and sometimes you get GGs where they're talking over Discord and someone GG's in Discord, but, and the other player Discord's in chat, right? So, right, he clears this out, right? These vultures die. He replaces this hatchery. The spider mines just keep getting kill after kill after kill after kill. The siege tank defense is ample. Haha. For ample everywhere he wants to send it. The music is kind of... Music. Uh-oh, I killed the ability to bring the music back. No, I didn't. Here it is. I don't want it anyway. It's fine. So it's it's 128 to 109 supply. It's 52 workers. Vultures run down and mess all of this. Oh, I mean, Action did lift up any defenders that were here to save these drones, and now they're dead. He has to unload some SCVs to deal with it. Really, not even that many drones died, but look at this. So I guess it is 132 to 108 supply. It's 2 bases mining for the Terran right now. It's effectively 2 bases mining for Action as well, which is not ideal. But it's always weird to me when an attack that fails is where the player who was attacking GG's out. You're on the offensive. I guess he didn't have a ton of money, but neither did Ample. Okay, and there it is. There's the GG out. His attack is not doing what he wants it to. I understand that. But he's still got 2 bases mining. He's got a 3rd base coming up on that left side. Premature! I hereby declare that a premature GGG. GGG, just a GG. A regular GG. And that was a great game anyway. Like, I don't care. I might just... Man, do we want to give that an epic tag? It was non-stop everywhere action. So many SCVs died. So many drones died. The siege tanks were doing damage, but also being handled fairly well by Action, I felt like. Pretty consistently. I mean, that hatchery's almost done. Look how close that progress bar is. He's making an Ultra. He's getting a Defiler. This drop is probably ill-advised. Once the 3 turrets were up, it's probably a situation where you get out of there. Maybe you live to fight another day, but to GG after that is very strange. Very, very strange. So yeah, weird hybrid start from Ample. He eventually just goes for straight mech because that's really good late game, and I guess we could say he gets the win. I mean, look, it's 206 to 204,000 points. Like, usually the winning player has the higher score, which is what Action has here, but he GG'd out, so... He did about 2 to 1 outproduce the Terran player. It's about a 7 to 3 kill-death ratio, though, from Ample. Pretty fantastic. It's a lot of dead Zerg units, for sure, yes. A lot of Terran buildings died. Some Zerg buildings died, too. Resources. He had about 7,000 more resources than the Terran player did. He spent that much more, which seems like enough in a 30-minute game. Maybe not quite enough, but pretty close. I know he didn't have a lot. I get that. He didn't have a lot. He wasn't maxed out or anything. He wasn't producing 8 Ultralisks and 37 Zerglings. You know, it was not that much. I totally get that. And I understand he maybe felt like he was down, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. And it's tricky, too, because he's got a better sense of StarCraft than I do. But at the same time, I had vision of the whole screen when he didn't. So I have more information than he did, but he also has more knowledge than I do. So it's I don't know. Somebody in the comments help me understand this. Do you agree with me that was premature or not? Let me know. Let me know. All right, good stuff. Good stuff indeed. And that's going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.